good evening, and welcome to my channel. I am Victoria, and I'm excited that you decided to pop into my channel tonight. On my channel, I share tips with you to help kickstart you into experiencing a fantastic kickoff to your week, leading a tremendous life. Don't forget now to hit the like and subscribe button because that helps with the algorithm. I'm trying to remember to say that more often now. Hit the like and subscribe button. Now, tonight is very interesting. Tonight we're going to be discussing in this Black History Celebratory Month on the 23rd day. We only have 5 more days left that we can celebrate it. So tonight I'm celebrating Black history and my life just a little bit as I grew up in the 60s. So I'm going to share with you a little bit about myself. I grew up in a large family with 10 brothers and sisters, including myself. I am the ninth of the eldest, and I have a twin brother. His name is Victor, and I'm Victoria. He was born 1 minute before I was, and he never, ever, ever has let me forget that. Through the years, he'll always say, I'm the oldest, I'm the oldest. I'm like, 90 seconds? You count that? But he does, and I understand that. Growing up, I had a very sheltered life with 2 parents. My dad was very authoritative, yet loving, and my mom was a housewife even back then. I grew up in a religious family with lots of fun, music, food, and sharing was everywhere. In our home, especially on Saturdays when we got to watch cartoons in the morning and Creature Feature. Creature Feature was a popular television show back in the 70s and 80s. The show was one where they presented classic films featuring monsters and aliens, supernatural themes, stuff like that. Movies like The Blob, and Frankenstein, and Dracula, even Blackula was on there. It was very nice. So we cleaned house, we did our chores, and our chores had to be done before we could watch TV. So we had to get up pretty early to get that done. The girls handled the inside of the home and the washing of the clothes, while the boys did the yard. Seriously? Yes, that's the way that it was. I ran around the neighborhood as a kid with no parental supervision. The only requirement was that we had to be home before dark. And our home and our street, it was where everyone came to hang out, where everything happened. We had lots of friends and people popping in to visit with us. And my mom was the best cook in town. Now, I don't recall facing many trials related to race growing up, but there were some. And some memorable ones I'm going to share with you. I saw the KKK when I was little. I was about 6 or 7, and my older sister lived close to the tracks. And for some reason, we were at her house and we were walking home. I don't understand, though, today why we were on the tracks because her home was down and the tracks were kind of up. But we were up there and we were walking home. And we saw the KKK marching on the street across the track. My mom wasn't afraid. She just said that we needed to get home as quickly as we could, and we rushed home as fast as our feet would carry us. No problem there other than that. I saw the hoods, I saw the white cloaks. They weren't on horses, they were walking in a line. There was quite a few, maybe 30 of them. Now, in junior high school, let's see what I remember. I remember being spat on when a school bus passed me close by as I was walking to school, and that walk seemed like 10 miles each day. Now, other students had transportation on the bus, but we had to walk. So someone spat on me out the bus window. Ooh, it was nasty. Oh, it made me goo. But boy, was that person lucky. Because if I had known who spat on me, they would have been in serious trouble. Now, I'm telling the truth, so I got to be transparent. Me and my bestie, Brenda Faye, and that is her real name, Brenda Faye, we didn't play that. And we would have gotten that person good if we knew who they were. So the angels were in their corner. I was called the N word at this same time. This was in junior high school when they segregated the schools and I had to walk from my neighborhood several miles to get to school. So I was called the N word. Now, this was by Abigail. I did change her name to protect the innocent. Now, she probably felt she had reason to call me that, the N word, as I had taken her lunch. And as I took her lunch, she said, "You bigger." And I said, as I threw the spaghetti in her face, "I'm not the bigger. You're the bigger." And boy, did she cry. That girl was so upset. She was so hurt. And it kind of hurt me too. And that's when I realized the impact and the implication behind using that word. I grew up hearing that word all the time. They implemented it in our language to sort of soften the blow. And every time someone would say something, they would say, "Nigga, please. Nigga, please." That's just the way we communicated it in the 70s where I grew up. But anyway, she reported me to the office and stated that I called her a bigger. But when I explained what had happened, and since she called me that first, I was spared, no suspension. The office counselor, Mr. Wilcox, calmed me down. He always had favor in me, as my whole family had gone through him. 8 other people had passed through his, tutorial. I was next to the last in the group. He was probably thanking the Lord he was getting to the end of us. But he saved me from a fate that would probably have turned my life out to one that would not have been so favorable. And he broke up our pact. He shifted me and my friends to different classes for high school. And to use his words exactly, now these I did change the names except for mine to save the innocent. He shared that in the office, Wilson, Smith, and Hollenberg, I don't care what I have to do. Next year, as you move to high school and throughout the rest of your education, the 3 of you will never have another class together for the rest of your schooling, not even PE. And that saved me and probably saved them too. And I often thank him for that strategic move even today. Now, there was a time also when I worked in a work study program at this same time period. And a staff person where I was employed, because the bus would come to school, a minibus, and it would take us over to work at different organizations. So where I was employed, a much older girl, she had to at least be in high school. She always had something smart to say. Always was trying to bait me into getting into a deep discussion with her. And I would just ignore her. But one day, she had the nerve to ask me, she said, "Does your skin come off when you bathe?" Imagine that, being asked, "Does your skin come off when you bathe?" So I looked at her in that look that I could give sometime, and I said, "Does yours come off when you bathe?" And she was shocked. And she never asked me any more questions from that time on. During this time, though, I felt eerie around other races. We didn't have any problems that I know of, but I felt a little apprehensive around other races. We did have a drugstore with a counter that served delicious food. I don't remember any childhood challenges there. I just always was cautious. Our family was well known. My dad worked for a wealthy business owner in town. And as a child, We were taught and we knew to keep quiet in the presence of adults. When grown people talked, we said nothing. We didn't look at anyone, especially in the eye, for too long. And we responded only when we were spoken to. And then it was yes, ma'am, and yes, sir, to all adults, whoever they were. They were addressed as Mr., Mrs., or Miss. Didn't matter if they were black, white, Asian, indigenous, Hispanics, all adults, no matter what, were given that respect. And I grew up around a lot of different cultures, that we had to respect. And we learned about those cultures. We learned about those cultures. Now, my dad did not play when it came to our family. He was one of the first black officers on the police force in our town. And in my eyes, of course, he was a superhero. He taught me to tell the truth and to call a spade a spade. Either it's the truth or a lie. It's black or white. And in his mind, there was no in between. Some of his favorite sayings were things like, there's nothing a liar won't do. If you will lie, you will cheat. If you will cheat, you will steal. And if you will steal, you will kill. That's what I grew up hearing. Now, this one I didn't like. He would say, when you find a fool, people use a fool. And I ain't raising no fools. And I felt a little bad about that one because in my mind, I was thinking that you don't use people. You should try and help people. And it wasn't until I became an adult that I realized the truth about that saying. And then there was this one. Don't take any wooden nickels. I like that one. And two wrongs do not make a right. Two wrongs don't make a right. So at 15 years of age, I moved from my home and in with my sister, Dr. Neva Wilson, the second to the eldest in the family, and the first member to attend and graduate college. She finished with a double master's degree in speech pathology and counseling. Yeah, you could say she was the brainiac of the family. And then she went on to obtain her doctoral degree in psychology. And when I moved in with her, my life shifted. And here I am today. Now, the memories I have had impacted on me. Of course they did. But they did not imprint upon me in a negative way. They did not deter me from my path. And as I look back through my life, I can see God's hand in everything that I did, how He was silently guiding me through the things that I needed to get through. And I'm so thankful for that. I had a pleasurable life with pleasurable experiences as I grew up. Now I know that each of us is influenced by our environments and that people can only share with you what they have with inside of them. And I try not to look down on those people who may, for whatever reason, be hurt and don't know love. I pray for them and I pray for myself as well. Happy Black History Month. I just wanted to share with you a little bit about me and my history. So, I hope you wake up every day this week knowing that you are unique. And although that things have imprinted upon us, that we can replace some of the negativity that we experience in life by working on ourselves, whether we need to find professional counseling, whether we use books. I use music a lot as well, journaling, meditation, all of those things will help. Have a fantastic day. I made it. I surprised you, I know. Peace out.